Okay, so are you familiar with a company called Samsung?
Yes.
So you know they make mobile phones, electronics, etc.
Yes.
They're about to come out with an announcement that they have made $7.7 billion in just this last quarter. Does that surprise you, or feel any way about that one way or the other?
I mean, I'm not surprised.
No.
Yeah, not really.
Are you aware that African Americans spend about $39 billion on electronics, mobile phones, computers, etc.?
I wasn't aware, but that doesn't really surprise me
It
either.
kind of surprises me a little bit, like, wow, that's a lot of money we spend.
So given the fact that you know those figures, would it be safe to say that we've contributed to Samsung's earnings?
Yeah, definitely.
If that's the case, do either of you feel that Samsung has a responsibility to be able to do things like include African Americans in their ads in a prominent way, as opposed to maybe in the background, to be responsible in terms of where they're putting their ads, whether they're placing their ads in magazines that don't really employ black journalists? What do you think about that, if anything?
They don't employ black journalists?
If they place ads in publications that really have almost no black journalists on staff.
I feel like if we're helping contribute to their, to their money, then of course they should definitely help promote black people. That's like saying African Americans don't buy Samsung phones, but we do.
Yeah.
So that's not.
Can I ask you how much you've spent on mobile phones or just, electronics in the last maybe year?
Well,
if you can even count.
I have a
iPhone.
I actually have a Samsung. So, but I had this phone for like 2 years now, and so I'm about to get a new one. But yeah, like a lot of my families, they all have like Androids and Samsung phones. So that's crazy if you don't employ black people, but you're most of your
I'm not
money.
saying that Samsung doesn't employ.
Okay.
I'm saying that they are putting their ads on some media outlets that don't necessarily support African American journalists, don't have them on staff.
I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that at all.
Does when companies do those types of things, does it have any influence on you one way or the other if you would buy their products in the future or not, or does that really, does it matter to you?
That influences me because I feel like I wouldn't spend money on a phone that if they're not going to support African Americans or anything like that, then I'm not going to support their company and buy their phone.
Interesting. One last question. I don't know if you've heard about this, but CNN recently did a study about Silicon Valley and the lack of diversity in the companies there. Of course, Silicon Valley, the hub for technology. And a lot of companies such as Facebook, etc., would not release their statistics on how many African Americans, etc., work there. What do you think about that when technology companies do that? What does that say to you if it says anything at all?
I mean, I feel like if they don't release it, then that means it's something that they know the public is not going to be happy about.
They know that there's an issue within it, and they're just trying to hide it. I feel like they know what's wrong and they know what needs to be changed, but they're not. They're trying to hide it.
And how does that make you feel?
I feel like that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Like that's crazy. You can't do that if pretty much most of your money is coming from African Americans. I feel like that doesn't make you look good as a company at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.